Hi, I'm Maria Elena, and I'm a Twitter chat moderator. One of my favorite tools to use is Nurph because of the many things that it provides actually to all of us who are moderators. One of the tools I love is the replay, the instant replay. So let me share with you how you can use it and how you can maximize it to build excitement, traffic, and more participants to your Twitter chat. Let's take a look.
This is what the front page of Nurph looks like. And what I'm going to do is give you a quick overview of different attributes of Nurph, and then we'll have some follow-up videos that will delve deeper into what each attribute does. But let me show you some of the things that make Nurph specifically unique. Number one is you have a listing of the different chats here. So if you're at the front page of Nurph, which can be found at nurph.com, then you just click on Chats, and it will show you what the recent chats have been, what the subject matter was, when they occurred, and then also it will give you the opportunity to launch and replay the chat. So for example, if I'm looking for brandchat, which is the chat that I created and I host and moderate, and click on replay, you can see the chat being replayed in real time. So if you missed the chat and you'd like to see it as if you were a participant there, you can see it going at normal speed, how it would be if you were actually there. This happens instantly after the chat is finished. Within 10 to 15 minutes, your chat replay is live. So it's really cool. It may be even quicker than that, but that's normally when I decompress from a chat, have a chance to go look and see if the replay is there, and then post it within our Facebook, LinkedIn, and Google Plus groups and communities so that people know that the chat is happening, or that the chat happened and that they can get to the replay, that the replay is already available. It's pretty cool how instant it is. But then you can see who the branditos are, or for us, it's the people that chat on brandchat. That's what we lovingly call them, our branditos. And you can see them as they're starting to join in. So we're doing this in real time, but you can also, if you come down here, at the very bottom, you can control the speed and even make it faster. Okay, so here it's just going even faster. Okay, I'm going to pause it here, because one of the beauties of Nurph, when we talk about that makes brandchat so wonderful within Nurph and such a good partnership, is that you can not only see the conversation that's happening when you're a participant, but notice here that you can see the guidelines of the chat in yellow being highlighted at the very top of the chat. You'll also see the questions there. As a participant, it helps you still see and be in real time with the conversations that are happening with the people that are there, as well as also highlighting and showcasing what the moderator is talking about, so you don't get lost in the shuffle or the speed of the feed. So I love that about Nurph, and this doesn't happen just in the replay. It happens in real time with the chat if your chat moderator has added the guidelines and has added the questions. So you'll see this as I restart this again. We're going to see it progress till we get to the questions, and I'll speed it up just a bit for the sake of this video, so we're not waiting forever for it to come up. Okay, so you can see the speed. The chat starts at 10 a.m. and you see we're 6-7 minutes into the chat. Usually the first 10 minutes of the chat is time for hellos, how are yous, introductions, and if you'd like to pitch. So you can see different people coming in, and if we wanted to, I'm going to pause this again, and if you wanted to click right here, we can click on each of the people that are part of the chat, and it actually brings up their Twitter profile. Now, I'm not logged into Twitter right now, so you're seeing it from the outside looking in, but you can see who each of the participants are and their own profile as well as their bio. So it would just be like you were looking them up on Twitter, but it's right there in one click. One thing you may also notice too is with Nurph you get your own branded channel, and we'll talk about that in a second when I take a look at just the branded channel. But let's go back to the replay. So you can see we're 10 minutes into the chat, and I'm going to get the chat started again, and we're progressing on, getting closer to the launch of questions. And this was just last week's chat, so I remember that it was a little bit delayed just because we had some internet issues. That was on our end, not on Nurph's end. But you'll see right here at the very top, notice that Q1 has launched already. So you see that up there. Q1 was included. Now you can see that as a chat participant as well, and you can know that we're talking about Q1. You don't need to toggle back and forth to another page, another site to see what the questions are. You really don't need to jump in and say, hey, everybody, what's the question? You can, especially with brandchat, because the Branditos are so super friendly and helpful, and they'll share it with you. And plus, we also have a place where we always house the chat questions and replays. We did that well before Nurph became available. But it's good for you to be able to see it right there in the chat in real time so that you don't have to jump anywhere. You can really focus in on engagement, the conversation, the questions, and the answers. So I want you to see that, because that's something in a later video when I talk about being a great chat moderator. Not that every chat moderator does not flow the questions into Nurph when they're using the Nurph channel, because they may be used to using another platform. They haven't had to do that before. It's not difficult to do at all. It's something that just takes 2 minutes in your planning stage, but it makes a huge difference in the experience that a participant has in your chat. Okay. So that's coming in just straight from the Nurph channel. I'm going to go back now so you can see back to recent chats, because you can also see what the upcoming chats are. They'll let you know what time, what the subject is, and then in how many hours. So you can see upcoming on Wednesday, we have brand chat coming up with brands and parents. And if we click to view, again, I'm from the outside looking in, it'll show you that we have a special guest, what time. You can log in, so it'll set it to your time zone. You can RSVP, or you can go straight to the channel now. Plus, you have the opportunity to look at upcoming chats or past chats. Now, let's take a look at the chat page, because as a chat, you have the ability to have your own chat channel within Nurph, and there's no cost for any of this. So I wanted to be clear on that, because a lot of people will see all of this that is provided through Nurph, and the next question to me after they see everything that's involved will say, wow, what does it cost to do this? And it's nothing. So thank you, Nurph. As a chat moderator from my entire heart, I thank you. So let's go to the brandchat page, okay, the brandchat channel. This is the brandchat channel. You can see it up there. It's nurph.com/brandchat. How did we get it branded that way? We actually, since the beginning of the chat 5.5 years ago, have had a Twitter handle, which is brandchat. So I have my own personal Twitter handle, Maria Duron. So it's at Maria Duron. And brandchat has its own. It's at brandchat. And I'm asked often, why would you want another Twitter account? Well, let me take you back just 8 months ago. 8 months ago, if you're a chat moderator and you were chatty, like you had conversation with your participants, and if you're a popular chat, like we are, we're always a trending topic whenever brandchat is chatting, you eventually will get into what's known as Twitter jail. Twitter jail is when Twitter's API has decided during a certain time period you have tweeted too much and your account goes silent. So no matter how much you text, tweet on your mobile phone, on your iPad, tablet, or from your desktop, those tweets are not going to be seen by the public. It has shut you down, and it will bring you back to life when that time period has lapsed some. During a chat, this can be just devastating, because now the chat moderator is silenced and no one knows what's happening. No one knows, did question 4 come up? Is it time to end? Where did they go? So they're looking for the person who's moderating the chat and making sure that the questions are flowing. And you can't converse with them because your Twitter handle has been shut down for some time before it'll be brought up again. When that happened to me during brandchat, then what I would do is switch to my personal Twitter handle at Maria Duron. Let everybody know, hey, brandchat is in Twitter jail. Follow me to the end, and they would do that. People would retweet that, so new people to the chat would know to follow me personally, so that they could find out what's happening with the chat as we wind things down and talk about next week's subject, and also announce who earned the Brandito cap, which is a very coveted cap within our community, and it is only earned. You cannot buy it. And it's only given to people who exuded exceptional great chat participation and Brandito-ness. So that is something that you want to consider as you start your chat, that if you do it from your personal handle and you do end up in Twitter jail, and it still happens. Now it's been 8 months, and I will knock on wood that we haven't ended up in Twitter jail in 8 months, but doesn't mean that we're not going to end up in Twitter jail. So for 5 years, that's how we operated brandchat, and I still encourage you to do that, number one, so that you do have 2 avenues on Twitter to be able to converse with your community, especially when you're involved in the actual chat. Then also, number 2, for branding purposes. As somebody who talks about branding and talks about consistency of branding, then you want something with your chat name on it, and your chat handle is what you need to be able to secure a Nurph channel with your chat name. And third, as a busy chat moderator, and because we have done this every single week for the last 5.5 years, there are some weeks when you're going to be sick, when the internet's down, when you're somewhere at a conference, a convention, the hotel doesn't have enough bandwidth, you were on but now you're kicked off. That's just going to happen. And there's life involved with the rest of it too. So you're going to want to work with fellow chat moderators. You're going to look for people in your community that are your brand advocates, who really are participants that have taken ownership and have a great passion for your chat. And you'll want to allow them the ability to be a moderator and to be able to take over when you're not there, or even better yet, to be able to participate and share in the responsibility of moderating, so that people get a different flavor sometimes, a different tone and cadence for different chats. Like for us, the 5th Wednesday of every month, because not every month has a 5th Wednesday, but on those special months that do, then Gary Nix, Mr. McFly, launches a special chat called Brandarchy, where it's anything goes about branding. So we're not going to focus on just 4 specific questions or even a specific topic. We may hop around from location-based marketing to what was this airline thinking, so the conversation can flow all different ways, and that's what we call Brandarchy. But it's nice because there are some people who really love the tone and the cadence of Brandarchy. There's some who like the fact that the structure of a regular brand chat. Some like the fact that there's just a mix, that they get a little variety. But for you as a chat moderator, it is important that people have the ability to access the chat moderator account, and you need the peace of mind of knowing that people that you're just connecting with online just now and just learning about, you're going to give them your password to your chat moderator account. And you don't want that to be your personal Twitter account password. I mean, I wouldn't feel comfortable doing that even now, even with people I trust and care for a lot, just because I would be afraid they'd change the password inadvertently and none of us could get in. So I set up the chat handle at brandchat so that all of us could have access, all of the moderators, and there are 3 of us total. And then we even have guest moderators. So when a guest moderator can fill in and help us, where they have a special subject that they want to launch and discuss, then we can easily give them the login, and nobody feels as if somebody is going to tweet as them personally or potentially go into their personal account. It really keeps things separate, and then really well organized, so that we can remain consistent and still have that same look no matter who is moderating the chat. At least visually, it's easy to follow the chat. So that's why I do recommend having a separate Twitter handle for your chat. I think for functionality, for branding, and then just for plain moderation common sense. So if you'll see here, we're actually at the brandchat channel, and if you look at upcoming chats, it will actually launch a list of all the upcoming chats that we have listed already. And here we have the next one coming up next week, which is Brands and Parents, and we actually have a special guest. But then we also have the following week, Brands and Publishing, and we encourage people to suggest questions. And this is a great place to go so that you can send people who are interested in participating in your chat. They can go and they can decide to RSVP for one or for all, but they can keep track with what the upcoming chats are and what the topic's going to be for the chat. It's also a great place that houses your past chats. I showed you where you can find that when you're on the when you're on the Nurph main page. But when you're on the BrandChat channel and you click on past chats, it's going to bring up every chat that has to do just with that specific hashtag, that channel. Every chat that's happened on that channel. And so this is the list of past chats. And what I love about it is if you look at the list of past chats and you click on them, you can see then not only the replay, but you see all these great statistics. Okay, so it will show you when the chat happened, who RSVP'd, who was hosting it, who are the participants, how many tweets came out. You can even click on each of the participants, and again, their personal profile will launch into another page, what the questions were, and how many tweets actually were about that specific question. Now, you also see the chat statistics, who are the top contributors. So yes, of course, with my own personal Twitter handle, I'm going to tweet a lot during brandchat. So is brandchat. But then Nathan, who is out of Las Vegas, is one of the other people who was very chatty and tweety during the chat. You can also, or do I say twittery, not tweety. Either way, you can see who and how often they tweeted within the chat. You can also see who was the most mentioned in the chat, who was the most retweeted, or what questions, I'm sorry, was the most retweeted, and who are the most influential. So you can see like Sprout Social participates, and they have 31,000 followers, IBM Smart Commerce. You can get some idea of who the participants are and some of the reach of those participants too. Now if you click on, so I showed you the replay, and it's not any different here. Once you click the button View Replay, it'll launch into the replay, and you have the same functionality as you did if you're coming from the front of the Nurph site, or the regular Nurph.com site. So even if you're in the brandchat channel and you go to past chats, you click on a chat, you click on replays, you can see the replay, and you have the ability to do that in normal time or to speed that up. Okay, I'm going to go back though. So you can also see, let's say you're not interested in seeing the chat in real time or even speeding that chat up, but you do want to see what people said about different questions. Now what's cool about the replay, just so that you know, within 5-10 minutes after a chat finishes, that replay is already available. That's pretty cool. It's right away. So if you missed for some reason and you want to see it in real time or even speed it up, but you want to see it like you would if you were a chat participant there, then you can do that and see the replay instantly. Here though, if you wanted to, when you're within the chat channel, the Nurph channel for that chat, if you wanted to look at what the responses were to a specific question, all you need to do is click here, and now everything is focused on that question. So everything that you'll see is about that question. You can do the same thing here for Q2. See what all the responses were towards that question. Really nice if you want to focus in. Let's say you're doing some research and you want to know what are the thoughts of people that are chatting on Twitter about internally or outsourcing your Twitter management, your Twitter account management. You can right away click there and you can get to see what people are talking about and their recommendations, and you get to know who each of these people are. Plus you can also favorite, you can also retweet them too. So you have all that functionality. And with upcoming chats, you can just click here, and you don't get those details because the chat hasn't happened, but you can log into RSVP, and you can also enter the channel now to see if anybody started talking about it, but you will know when you're on air. It'll be at this particular time that the chat is happening. Okay, so those are some of the benefits of working with and having a chat in Nurph. I'd love for you to stay tuned for the next video so that you have a chance to see what it looks like in the backside for a chat moderator and some of the functionalities and how to operate Nurph as a great channel and platform for you to have an excellent, responsive, and easy to follow chat. Thanks so much for being here.